Marcelo is a small, mild man, living in a dilapidated Rome suburb. He owns a dog grooming shop and divides his days between his work, his daughter, Alida, who lives with her mother from whom he is separated, and socializing with other locals. He supplements his meager income by selling cocaine to acquaintances. One is Simone, a huge and thuggish former boxer who terrorizes the neighborhood. The extent of this abusive friendship is demonstrated when one night, Simone forces Marcelo to take part in a burglary, as he has a van and can act as the driver. The job runs smoothly, but Marcelo overhears from his accomplice that he put a dog in the freezer to shut it up. After receiving his token share of the loot, Marcelo returns to the scene, retrieves the dog, and revives it. Simone continues to cause havoc, punching a restaurateur and breaking his nose. Some locals discuss what to do about him, but no decision is made. Marcelo is silent throughout. Later that night, Simone forces Marcelo to get cocaine for him from his supplier without paying for it. Accompanying him, Simone is turned down due to his debts, to which the thug responds by brutally beating the dealer and one of his henchmen, leaving with a haul of coke that he and Marcelo consume in a strip club. On leaving, Simone is shot by a man on a motorbike. After refusing to go to hospital, Marcelo takes Simone to Simone's mother's house to tend to him. Here, Simone and his mother have a brief argument over the cocaine, with his mother upset by his addiction. One day, Simone discovers that Marcello's shop shares a hollow wall with a cash for gold shop, and decides to rob it. Marcelo tries to dissuade him, as the owner is his friend, but Simone bullies Marcelo into giving him his key. Next morning, Marcelo discovers that Simone carried out the robbery, planting evidence to incriminate him. Marcelo is arrested. During the questioning, a police officer makes clear that they know Simone was responsible and tries to convince Marcelo to cooperate, but he refuses and is imprisoned. 1 year later, Marcelo returns home a pariah, rejected even by his cocaine supplier, and having to rebuild his business from scratch. Desperate for money, he tracks down Simone and asks for his share of the robbery, around 10,000 euros, but can see it was spent on a motorbike. Hardened by prison, Marcelo retaliates by smashing up the bike. The next day, the bully beats him up in public. After this, Marcelo plots his revenge. After a few days, Marcelo seeks Simone out again, apologizing for the bike and proposing they rob cocaine suppliers meeting at his shop, to which Simone agrees. When Simone arrives, Marcelo tells him to hide in one of the dog cages and wait for his signal. Simone reluctantly does so, only to be locked in it by Marcelo, who now taunts the bully. Simone manages to kick the door open, but Marcelo hits him on the head with a metal bar as he is crawling out. Marcelo chains Simone to the wall in order to treat his injury, but Simone traps Marcello's head under his arm and begins to strangle him. In trying to free himself, Marcelo involuntarily kills Simone by strangling him with the chain. Shocked, Marcelo disposes of the body by setting it on fire in a field. Hearing his former friends playing football, he tries to capture their attention by shouting to them that the bully is finally dead, to no avail. He then takes the corpse back to the football field, only to discover that his friends left. Marcelo eventually decides to bring it to the main square, waiting for people to notice. The groomer slowly realizes that nobody will show up, and he will remain alone with his responsibilities.